today. We get the Ministry of Lands for can talk about the issue of building permits and land management. Now, the country as ministry we they in charge for land management control for economic developments, building and other purposes them. But concern don't they come up from the public this BNTM for sake the plenty house collapse and fence collapse them and land management, especially in the capital city. Within the status of building permits and land management in the country. Now we focus of discussion today for sake of that. I want to welcome we studio guests them inside the program. I want to welcome Tamba Dauda, the professional head director of surveys and lands, Minister of Lands, Housing and Country Planning. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning and good morning to our listeners out there.
Okay, we also get civil society representative. We don't get concern over this issue and don't they raise a voice on them. As one time we've been getting at the studio on the same issue. David Indolo, Conte, Executive Director, Right to Life Advocacy Network Salon. Good morning, Indolo, and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning, 98.1, and good morning to the listeners. And I want to say thank you for having me this morning.
Okay, we start with Tamba Dauda, Professional Head, Director of Surveys and Lands, Minister of Lands, Housing and Country Planning. Dauda, we start with you. We look at when you talk about Professional Head and Director of Surveys and Lands, what's in the mandate?
Well, the professional aspect of the ministry, the head of that, and I advise all the divisions in the ministry and also the political leadership. And my job is to ensure that we work alongside the statutory mandates and ensure that we manage the resource where we get as a ministry and as a country. We manage them well in the interest of Sierra Leoneans.
Manage them well. How done they done happen over the past years then when it comes to land management and use in the country? Okay.
Over the years, we get a tenure system where it's a dual land tenure system. We get private ownership as well as private ownership and state lands. Now, in the western area, let's consider private ownership. People have been claiming lands even where we not born it. We get people where they claim lands privately, where me and you to not born it. Then get them lands and then they sell them over the years and then they utilize them as and when they like. Now we have the ministry's mandate for ensure say our cities are planned in as much as you may have your private property, but our cities should be planned in such a way that you don't get any effect on your neighbor, you don't get any effect on society. And that's the reason why we get waiting and we call the permit process, the building permit. We also get something like the planning permit or introduce. Now, you self where you get property, you don't get right for doing anything without the ministry approval or without the ministry consent. And that is why we ask you for building permit. So before you go do something, we get for know what they do they allow say if you fit it. Okay? And also land itself. We get lands and when a state land, we they manage and we they allocate them appropriately to institutions and deserving Sierra Leoneans. And we also they allocate them in a way where it benefit Sierra Leoneans and dedicate them to for a purpose for which we know say every Sierra Leonean will benefit, either directly or indirectly through the services for which they allocate them. So in short, we ensure say we follow certain procedures in line with the laws for ensure say you will get a land, you utilize it the right way, and before you claim a land, you follow certain procedures and you forget it.
All right, you talk about you one of the people or you all for advice some departments them and the political head
and direct the affairs.
Yes, which kind of advice so far you done to get the minister?
Well, we have not only today or before this collapse that we done they happened recently. We have been working on a lot of reforms, and we don't observe the issues that we don't face. And the Ministry of Lands, as we speak, we are packed with a lot of activities that don't begin long before then build there they collapse. And one of the things you can remember in 2015 we we institute the national, we try for develop a national land policy. The policy they speak towards all NTIA will happen, and some of the recommendations of the national land policy are now being implemented. We now for institute those for develop or reform institutions and create new institutions and ensure say we review the laws of this country where they affect we not they serve the purpose as we speak now, because we also get laws and we don't they from the 18th century we are still using those laws, and in the early 19th century we still they use their laws and they fit now for the modern day society where they live. So we don't review a lot of them over the past 5 to 10 years, and we also don't conduct a lot of training. We do a lot of recruitment, so that we'll get the manpower out there for meet up with the heavy task where we get.
Okay, because the reason why I ask which kind of advice you give to the minister, I guess you yourself aware of some of the surveyor them, even some man they say not today then they work, but some man believe say they work na the ministry. We can give documents to 2 people for just 1 land. The ministry are aware of that?
Well, I just tell you, say, we get 2 type of land. We get state land, we get private land. Now, assume, say, you get your private property. How you they sell them, how you know they sell them, we not gonna know. The only thing we get control over, now which document we they process. As we they speak, I don't get this question times without number, that the ministry gets a system whereby people and they get 2 people and they get document for 1 piece of land. And the short answer is no. The ministry need to do that. And we don't prove times without number, say, their land and they then claims and the way they see 1 person or 2 people and they claim 1 piece of land. It is either the land is a state land allocated by the ministries or somebody else, and another person claiming it privately. Okay? And when the ministry allocate land, no say na state land. If somebody go claim it privately, then there is something wrong. Either a get falsified document where we don't prove, and we'll get for sure evidences of that, or somebody else just sit down, they go sell land, we not to get them without the consent of the ministry. It's sit down in corner, forge document them and give person.
Alright, then documents there where they can forge. Most of them can get a signature of certain person at the ministry. How don't they come about for investigate the one way maybe in signature can dip the paper there?
Oh, well, where they look at the falsification and they get several ways where people can falsify document. First of all, we get for state lands, we get what they call a lands office number. Every plan way we design, we get a lands office number. We have the unique ID for every property, and at that now you plan number. That particular plan it gets details inside where contain the geographical location, the coordinates. We need to give that same land to any other person, except you fail for develop the land on the terms and conditions for which we give, we terminate them and we give other person. Okay. When it comes to the other aspect, we, like I said, we know the we need to give land, the same land twice. Private people can take 1 land, then sell and give somebody at the same time, then take that same land and sell and give another person. I'll get why then they do that. I'll give an example. Somebody cannot sell a piece of land. Sometimes they get agreement with the person where they buy them, and the person not give paying all the money. They don't delay. They decide for sell and give other person. Okay. Whereas the surveyor don't go ahead, we don't sign that paper. The other person where they can't sell, where they sell we don't sign any documents in it. We dey tell and say, go and get a consent from that person they will don't sign, and within our records say you're no more interested in that land before we go ahead for signing in it. Which normally then some of the surveyors can do. Then they go ahead and forge their document and they, because they want to be paid. Well, again, most of the surveyors then, we they regulate the licensed surveyors and the pupil surveyors, where they work under the supervision of the licensed surveyors. Our website, we get the list of all the licensed surveyors, and also then they provide a list of all pupil surveyors where they under the supervision, where we get record of. We don't publish them, we get all the details on our website. This don't they happen for years now. We don't come on the radio and the TV. We tell people, and when you want a surveyor, go on the ministry's website, all the information you need, you will get on there. If you not do that, you happen for bump into the wrong person in hand. It go mislead you, and it go even survey property where you know say na government land.
Now, let we look at your earlier statement where you say una responsibility or part of na for planning permits and building permits before somebody erect a house. Is it that all the hosts them where they don't erect in this country, Freetown in particular, get building permits?
That's a challenge. I will tell you, say less than 30% of the housing now they get building permits. Probably 30% is even over exaggerated. It is possible that even less than 20% get building permits.
So it's now, say most of the houses then are Freetown or Saloon not get building permits.
Well, more so in Freetown. Now, in the Western area, we staff strength at the ministry. It's over 200 and it's about 260. The entire Ministry of Lands, and the staff strength of 260, it contains administrative staffs. Technical staffs is just about 200. We get the provinces where we staff NDD, all the regions we staff NDD, every district we staff NDD, and we get some staff stand at Freetown. The majority of the staff NDD at Freetown. And you look at the Western area, an area that was meant for a maximum population of about 500,000 people is now plagued with about 2 million people, and we don't see the challenges all they get for housing. And we look at we landscape, we get protected areas, our forest reserves are now being challenged. We see wetlands and people and they reclaim them and they bank them just for bail. So you see the area where we start from for go out for reach is so vast, it's so enormous, and some areas they're hard to reach, and they need vehicle, they need mobility for going to the area. Then
so make we narrow this thing down now. We look at the recent accident to say or incident to say a 7-story building collapse, 16 people lose their life and 8 wound bad one, plenty property spoil. This particular building, the person being a building permit?
You're not a building permit.
Now,
let me tell you, this building, not what they don't build. They don't build a building there for nearly 10 years. Okay, what thing that happened recently is that the person just they add Pantap recently, and at that time the challenge they get. Now the law say,
and they add the baseline and that's not be get building permit.
No, before you do any reform in your building, any adjustment in your building, you for take building permit. If you demolish, if you take demolition permit. If you do anything new to a building, if you take permit, okay, that one you not get.
But we get initial one.
Whatever if you don't get initial, that one that's something we will get for look at, and that now some of the issues and we will be on the face way over these years. The ministry don't recognize, and the ministry don't do a lot of reforms for correcting that one day. Okay, and one of the things that we don't do so far. Now for make sure say we develop what they call building code. This is not a law where not be ever day. Now a building code 90 sets the standards to which a building for how they for construct a building.
Okay.
Waiting at the materials away for use, and waiting at the weight, the load, and they go out for check even on the soil bearing capacity.
Okay. Before we take break, Mr. Dauda, apart from that building there, we don't get other several buildings there we don't book. If you go Uphill Station 1, Congo Tong, the same thing. Them build there get building permit or they not get?
They not get building permit.
All the one that we don't book so.
Most of the one that we don't book. In fact, the one that we don't, the one in Congo Tong and the other one them not get building permit. To my knowledge, if they get building permit, it is not today. It could have been long years.
Okay.
We don't ask we need for land permit. We don't ask when it's time where they build and they broke. We ask them they need the info provider.
The program is still listening to now. Good morning, Salon. We come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM, and we will bring you this edition of the program. Good morning, Salon. Musa Kamara Naminim.
And my name Usman Kamara.
And today we look at the issue of building permits and land management use in the country, and you don't listen to the director of survey, the Ministry of Lands, Housing, Country Planning. We now Tamba Dauda. We don't talk about the position and what they do so far for land management in the country. I want to welcome now David Indolo Conte, the Executive Director, Rights to Life Advocacy Network. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning.
The issue of building permit and land management now topic we don't discuss since the rapid incident them as we get the disaster management representative the last year. About 31 people don't lost their life into accidents them with a building collapse and also fence collapse, and according to the director survey this morning, most of them who say we collapse will not get building permits. What's in this mean for the country?
Okay, thank you very much. I think so. I don't say this time without number. The ministry of itself needs to take responsibility, because if we get less than 30% of building within the capital city without a building permit, I will come to the conclusion for me then concluding building then they. So then get a very big role for play, because as I can listen to my elder brother, even the building will collapse. The one way happen even how they call this place?
Hill station.
No, not hill station. Okay, I will come to that. Itself no get building permit. So if we will get less than, because planning, I not go come to planning because there is nothing like planning. Even if you go na Waterloo, when a new fine place, I go as far as Shabro Town. There was no planning. By right, before people that they come for building permit, the ministry of itself forget a cadastre, just like what you would have been discussed earlier, in a way that all land for they in a very they forget a map system, in a way that they for able know say this land na Usman in land, this other land na this person in land. But I go tell you say with the building permit, this is clear manifestation. Even if you go na the cemetery na Sekila Road, they don't build, say they don't come at the cemetery, they try for drive the late people there now. But they're not able to stop that particular building for making it happen. And I know say my brother they shy away of this. But me they tell and say, document the way we don't come across. Majority of them, when you look at them critically, they're all authentic the same way. And then people that they go court, the same signature, and nobody no able go claim say this signature not to me signature. And nobody from the ministry up to this time not able to take some of them people there to court for say you impersonate or you sign me signature unbeknown to me. Yeah? And the issue of building permits, we don't say this time without number. The Ministry of Land, they are overwhelmed. And that one day, I'm not going to shy away from them. They not even get enough staff. They get more volunteers than even when it comes to, staff them where they get appointment letter. And as far as I'm concerned, that's also not a crime. Because for make you hold on to somebody for over 5 years without having a contractual agreement with you is bad. Look at the regional offices. If you go to Bo, they are dilapidated. They don't even have furniture. Even the director, where they are the regional, not even get a vehicle, according to the report of the Auditor General's report 2022. They are overwhelmed with less staffs. But year in, year out, with a send budget. Year in, year out, with a send budget. And then budget there, even though they never honor their 100%, but they have been honored. So why we still get within the Ministry of Lands volunteers? Why we not get appointment? Because a volunteer can do anything wrong, all are responsible. If you go to Obo, then get over 14 staffs who are volunteers, according to the Auditor General's report. So in this case, Right to Life, even though I'm serving on a 2 capacity, I'm also the National Coordinator for Civil Society Consortium on Public Accountability. So on normal circumstances, we self don't do a very big survey, we get engineers as an organization, as a consortium, where they try for put one or two things in place.
Right.
I be don't they say this? Sometimes I can pity some of the ministers the way they can at the Ministry of Lands. I can feel say some of them for don't they, turn down some of their appointment in day, because if you go to the Ministry of Land, you still get this archaic laws. Then 1960 laws them in terms of land. All entity and a burden on the ministry itself.
Right.
If you go to the Ministry of Lands, you still get the same directors from the time go. And some of the things that also we find out is that past directors and some past ministers, allegedly, like if I get a land, the current director no sign, and they go down to the past, then what do we do? We backdate them. So automatically, when they don't backdate them, I don't get them.
All right.
But the question here is, this man where we don't serve for 10-15 years ago, sign a particular document, a permit, he signed a particular document, but that document is still within the system.
Now,
How we come out the system? So we need to ask ourselves, because that particular director is no longer working there. But because they don't backdate these documents, how then do get them inside the system?
all right, you think it's an attempt for let the ministry begin, prosecute some of the surveyors them or past member them na the ministry?
Of course. Of course.
Okay.
Even the brother where she don't at one point in time, there is a document where me get, where they give the land, to somebody. Now this Ilcott Road. Then at the end of the day, another one Mr. Sise and another Fuller guy own the same land. Now they don't divide that for me and get freehold. They understand now, say they say na Lebanese man get that land. That particular matter, it ain't amicable. Okay. For one side Sise, when I try for investigate on that one day as well.
Right.
Yeah. Then when you look in some certain document them, I want Mr. Tamba Dauda, director, may I start for pursue people then where they, where they impersonate in signature, where they use in signature.
Right.
Because some of them document they will get, you go see one grain land, the same location, geographical location, with signature, with the same person, the same name, but we did deny them.
But
why will not still bring them
but
to
according to the director, he said they not ever sign, paper or land for somebody for one great particular land, then get into 2%. He said that not the
case then they not court. Now make us say, if it cases then they not court with two signature and land not to be movable. Not to couple then they sell. Say where they sell and a Makenia, they sell and a. If it two people that don't come for the land, then say this other document is not authentic, sue the person to court. But we don't ever see that. We need for they suppose the Ministry of Land for the give report of people them where they go impersonate, of people them where they go take people then your land say this na the list. This man he just go take that land, not to even get the land. If you go na the court from high court down to the magistrate court, there are a lot of land issue. Then if you go back and look, I don't tell you, 10 get for cow, not again, no bearing ground. The only shame where the Ministry of Land or whosoever, where then the shame power now for me to say now the entire Freetown capital city not get a cemetery. If not, no cemetery no day now Freetown where they no encroach, where they no build. And if there is no building permit, you bring the building down. Because I think say they forget the power. If they don't have the power, let them push for that particular mandate in a way that when you build a particular place without a building permit and without a coded surveyor and without a seal how do they call it, engineers, because these are some of the things where don't lead to building collapse, because we get engineers, then get organizations. They even get an act of parliament don't make provision for professional engineers in a way that all engineers for don't register. So if somebody they apply for a building permit, what do? Who is the engineer we get for go construct? At the Ministry of Lands as well, and the Ministry of Works, because I will not take them out of this. Then get engineers, they wait for the visits, wait for the monitor on daily basis on them construction sites there. If it is building where then they build, If even okay, then there is another question. The Ministry of Land and the government of Sierra Leone protecting the people, even the one the way they sell them them blocks there, needs to be monitored, because we don't even know the block where they beat if there is sufficient material then they use. Because now people don't they say I need to go beat block, I just they go and buy block. Are they monitoring? Who is monitoring them? Would I get for look at the type of material where then they use? All of those things need to be. But I will not end my discussion if I not say the government need for give serious provision in the Ministry of Lands.
Okay.
They are understaffed, and will not go keep on they get volunteers. They not get vehicles for monitor. They not even get equipment. Look at people the way don't die. They like the people then they under dirty. Will not be able to pull them because they not get equipment. So there is no lesson learned from even the Montema issue down anything will happen at this country, my brother. That's the end. Even when it don't happen at Shell, we are just saying it here. In 2 weeks' time or in 3 weeks' time, it will tell like nothing not happen at this country. Yeah? And we really have need for role. We not see them take any action against the person who get the building. Even Parliament, the oversight committee where they look on renting there, they're not ever able to bring the person to a book for sure say this person are in building, because they understand say there was a warehouse right up this building. When the building shake, one of the bobode will be the building because there was a container where they try for offload. When the building shake, the bobo say it says something don't shake now this building, and they tell us say na kushi don't take. So the bobo and driver a come on at the scene. So it's safe according to our investigation. So it's high time somebody build 7-story building without a building permit. As a government, as a ministry, we left and take it done. And that particular building, there was a problem. People demonstrated, people's protest against that building because I be dustbin the no way, not the way they block a waterway. Automatically, and another building they close to them. But we don't see the Ministry of Land times without number there they mark red. I don't know whether in a brown envelope they pass. Then they mark the fence, then they mark everything red X, but then they broke them. At the end of the report they continue. Okay. So how they come to that conclusion?
Program Good Morning Salon still continues. Still inside the studios we get the Director of Lands, now the Director of Survey and Lands, now the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Country Planning by the name of Tamba Dauda. Before we go for material and take that phone call, Indodo mentioned a lot of things there. One get for do with the understaffed that wanna get more volunteer than staff. How true about that?
That's not true. We get interns them. Okay, the last time I think me and my brother will meet up in Epic Radio. Also try for make that clear. We get people them where they can at the ministry. It's a public ministry. We get people them where they can as if then they come for business. Okay, but they are not part of that ministry. And
you come for business. Which kind of business?
Well, all ministries are ministries where they render. Business ministries. That where they render services to the public. Okay, so then they come for get our services that we render. Okay, and some of them they come as them people but not to actually service that they come for. Then they can pretend as if they work for the Ministry of Lands. But how do you decipher the set of people in the form staff and where they work at the ministry? As I say, we don't take a lot of actions for the past 4 to 5 years. We don't do a lot of reforms. We don't drive some of them people and they pretend as if now they work. We don't prosecute some of them. Some of them they jail now, and some of them we don't actually get rid of them completely. And as we say in that direction, we don't establish a special unit now the police force where we call the Land and Environmental Crime Unit, because this now a special unit in the police where they are housed at the OSD headquarters, where then they look specifically on land and environmental crimes. We don't report a lot of crimes to them, and we take action. Like my brother said, you're not able to foresee one action we don't take. I will invite you for going at the OSD headquarters, talk to the crime officer or the CID officers in charge at OSD headquarters under the Land and Environmental Crime Unit, and you will see the cases them who don't present to them. waiting we get for do now for present a case to them at that point, and you will see the evidences that we don't tender, tons and tons of evidences, including falsification of documents. Okay, we don't send a lot of them to them and then investigate. Some have been charged to court, and some have been some are presently running their jail term. The way you go, you get more information, and we also don't put together, and the minister try for present in one of the press conferences a catalog of falsified documents. You dey see somebody get a falsified document for over 400 acres, 200 acres in one. The Ministry of Lands will attack them people and we attack them, which they get a lot of challenges. Now you go ask again, waiting at the action we don't take as a ministry. We they present the one and then go na police, then they charge them a court. But what happens in the court, we don't have control over that. And me brother, they also talk about documents that have been falsified. I've been begin mention about how they falsify documents. It don't necessarily means that direct or in signature they did now in signer. Okay. Then they cut and paste. We get what they call cut and paste. Then they cut sideway director on sign I plan, go paste and but waiting we they able for detect from that is that we get a unique ID for private property. We get what they call LS number, the licensed survey number. Okay, and that number there is a unique ID. If I say LS 456 of 24, it means it is the 456th document that has been processed and signed by the ministry in 2024. Okay. So as you can see, there is no way you go for duplicates and documents in there. So any other document where you see with that same number, now somebody don't cut out from that particular plan and put on there. Okay, we don't have control over whether they do that one day. Okay. But wait till we get control over now for identify, say this is fake, and we'll pursue them, we'll make sure say we report them. And we've done that, if not hundreds of times. And we will get a lot of, you go to the OSD headquarters, you ask for the land and environmental crime unit, you go see, you go talk to the officer, then we'll give you more information on that side. Then also, we talk about how we will demolish some of the structures and they. My brother, we have been demolishing those structures a lot. The one the way they collapse and then they do all our attention. The one the way they demolish, like I said, we they do a lot of them demolition activities that are out there. But we know they come for present and say, we don't go demolish and that we don't go demolish. If my brother wants the statistics, we can give it to him. We did demolish a lot of structures and they on a daily basis, even yesterday. All right, we did some. You see.
So what about the one that Shell we for on this BNTM? In order na corner, is it that the ministry not me the CM during the term with the person with the bill?
No, you see, we staff them good. We staff them good. Then even mark X na the place, like my brother said. Where you go mark X, the brown envelope, and they give them. That's not the case.
So it happen now. Then go mark X.
Then they mark X for demolish and ask una for quit commodity. Now,
when actually una me mark X na that place day.
Before we get a concern, the same concern with the public they raise says somebody just they add part of this building and that place have been dirty box. We get about a month before the building collapse. We get record of that. My brother is also invited to the ministry for see that record day. We get information where we even invite the people and for camp.
Right. So almost
they not come with a permit for do any addition of that. We try for stop them, but then
so when it almost comes days una can take a month. We una don't mark X na a certain building for loan broker.
Well, we they ask them for quit commodity, and normally we they ask the people for demolish the building itself. But waiting the law say that's the reason we make we they reform the laws, we they review the laws them. Waiting make we they say when we get houses and like that one and they you didn't just go demolish them. You go demolish and just they get a lot of my brother and civil society organization. They go grab them now. We don't go book people out. So what do they do? Will they go now? Will they go see court order? And imagine how long it take for get court order. And that's the reason why we review the laws there and we they ask them for let them join we as a ministry for let we ensure say we capture within the reviewed laws, empower the Ministry of Lands for demolish without recourse to the court. Otherwise, we find it difficult. By the time you wait for let you get the court action, something else, people they don't already go, they resign at them building in there.
As soon as still wait for the una they still look inside the reverse code, building code, who they can look at briefly. Would I get that building we collapse that share?
Now one Fulaman or so where they put up that building there according to investigation so far.
No, we draw the tribe and use the name.
sorry about that. Well, I know sabi the name, but
Okay.
that's exactly which I not get the name. But we still wait for the investigation. We don't launch a serious investigation on that, but that's what we have so far, and we actually wait for the full investigation. But what thing we know is that we don't get an information that that building they may not be like long ago, and then just they do addition recently that is not permitted by the ministry, and we don't go there, we don't stop them, but they still they continue.
Tamba Dauda, Professional Head, Minister of Lands, Housing, Country Planning. We will come back to you. They look at the reverse building code briefly before we end the program. Good morning, Salon. We come to you from 98.1 FM. Usman.
The program na Good Morning Salon will come to you live from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Still inside the studios, we get David Indolo Conte, the Executive Director, Rights to Life Advocacy Network Salon. Indolo, you don't hear much from the director. Waiting at the way forward at this time.
Well, I don't listen keenly to what the director say, and as Sierra Leone, it's high time we start to think out of the box, because reason being, yeah, they say where you talk pan the dog, you also get for talk pan the bone. We government self get a very big responsibility, yeah. When we they follow, because I'm part of the team where they follow up the financial hearing, now we just say budget hearing at the Ministry of Finance. Just like me don't say this, even though the professional head and they look at in job, but us as civil society, where we see black na black, where we see white na white, the ministry itself, may nobody not like you. It's not good for write home about. And when I go through my records, when will be the monitor, when will be the get the public hearing on the financial institution, when at the Ministry of Finance, it happened for BCA, I think say the ministry, and Mr. Tamba Dauda himself will agree with me. They submitted something like 13 billion. The only way they give them is something like 1 billion. And if you go now the east part of Sierra Leone, the regional office, even photocopy machine they not get, scanner they not get. Some of them thing and a documents when a secret document pardon you for go do a cafe.
Okay.
And which we will get small knowledge about IT. For anything where you pass through, if I want to get some part of the system, are they are they able to save us somewhere where I will able also use that one day. Now the ministry of itself, which you don't know, you know, sometimes when people they work for government and they afraid for talk, we can get problem. Waiting they disturb you, Sam. I don't talk if they are understaffed. They're not able to monitor the entire country. Right. And one day they not get vehicles. Yeah, they not get photocopy machine themselves. They not get.
Okay.
You they get me? And if you get for monitor all the activities there, you get for get vehicular movement. You get for get vehicles, okay. And also the money where they give to the ministry of itself. And I don't like you, ministry they count money.
All right.
Yeah. Then secondly, in the last word, may then try to equip the Ministry of Lands and ensure say the Ministry of Land take the responsibility. Then yesterday, because I know come on if I'm not talking, I don't see waiting with messengers them. They facing now this country from foreigners, from big people. Yesterday, what we do? We get issue with the Maki factory, cement factory. We get for deal with violation of labor laws, non-payment of NACIT and all other things, allegedly. When we write them, we as directors, we decide for go deliver this document. When we reach, we meet the Maki himself.
Okay.
That guy get for tell we say, na dream with a dream. He use all abusive language.
Okay,
but we get for call on una. No, they call on a press conference.
We will offend them, yes.
Yeah, but this happening thing when the Ministry of Works, I mean the Ministry of Labor, then get a very huge work for do. Then they could copy. We get for count una copy. We copy una the letter the media.
We will offend.
So please, Papa government.
So look at all the challenge and the loaner or the policy owner they look into the building code, how this reverse building code go solve all the issues here. So
well, the building code now is a set of documents, a kind of law where they specify, like my brother they talk about the type of blocks them where you go use the type of iron rod, the type of material, and it also specifies penalties for contractors. It specifies penalties for you who own the house. It contains a lot of details. Everything that is being asked during this for this building and the collapse is being responded to by that law. So that is a kind of document we put together. As we speak today is Wednesday, the minister, the tenant and the cabinet, that one also you can go and verify. And when we don't start that process, before this building collapse, we don't start long ago. We work with a lot of consultants, and we work with a lot of civil society organizations. Then our processes are very inclusive, and we discuss a lot with also other players. Then, so this is something we identify where we don't see long ago, and because of our recent actions of the ministry, we don't attract a lot of World Bank grants. You see, 2 SLEDIP, 2 Russell P. Then they support you a lot because of the action level they say. And we know World Bank, we know say they know we pour them on whose side they need to see effort.
Thank you.
And this sort of thing don't start. The Ministry of Lands has been ahead of all of this long ago. All waiting we need a facelift.
Thank you. Thank you very much for joining me in today's edition of the program Good Morning Salon. Inimna Tamba Dauda, Professional Head, Director of Surveys and Lands, Minister of Lands, Housing and Country Planning. Today we look inside the issue of building permits and land management issues in the country, and we been seeing we get David Idolo Conte, we are the Executive Director, Right to Life Advocacy Network Salon. Plenty thank you for joining me in today's edition of the program Good Morning Salon.